I don't care what it look like, so I'm trying to tell you it's gonna be alright. I came out with some inspiration and some hope today. It's hard time. Let's go.
We come straight from the back to the front, the head of the tail, and we getting what we want. We're going from the bottom right up to the top. Ain't nobody playing 'cause we can't be stopped. Us in the end, we win. We win.
Let's go.
We win. In the end, we win.
Let's get it. Come on.
What's good? What is good, YouTube? It is your boy once again, the host with the most, Smooth T. You are in the midst of another We Win Sports Talk. Today is a great day to remember at We Win Sports Talk. Winning is the end game. But if you ain't about to win, don't go in. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, man. Thank y'all for showing up today. Thank y'all for tuning in wherever you tuning in from. You could have been anywhere, but you choose to come hang out with me, your boy, your host with the most, Smooth T, at We Win Sports Talk. Real quick, let's just do some footwork that we always do. Right here. Like, subscribe, comment, man. Share. Let's run these numbers up like we always say. Let's run them up. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Let's get these subscribers up, man, so we can get to this live chat and get this thing going, man, so we can interact with y'all even more than what we already doing. Either way, we're going to be okay. Again, another Happy New Year, man. We got a great show coming up, man, right now. Told y'all what we had coming. Got my boy right here with me today. About to bring him in. You know what I'm saying? The best assist wing man in the industry. Bring in my boy, Big LT, the Guru, the best wing man. What's up, my boy?
What's up, man? You got it.
Man, good to see you again, man. Today it's gonna be a great show. Just so everybody know, also, man, at Smooth T, the number 4 real on all social media platforms. Like, subscribe, comment. At Smooth T, the number 4 real on all social media platforms, man. So, first of all, man, I told everybody you was gonna come back and in perfect fashion. I see what you're representing. We gonna talk about that in depth. Happy New Year to you, brother. Happy New Year, man.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you too and all the We Win Sports family.
Yes, sir.
2025, good to be alive.
Yeah, that's right. And in 2025, we gonna thrive. You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
So you got some good aspirations for 25 before we get this thing turned up right here?
Regarding sports or just in general?
Just in general.
Oh yeah, definitely gonna level up, man. Looking into like businesses and personal goals and professional goals. Just trying to level up, man. I don't ever want to be in the same spot every year, so always looking to level up in every facet of my life.
Hey man, I'm rocking with it, man. Cool. So today's show, y'all, we doubling back on what we talked about yesterday, except I'm getting it from LT, the Guru perspective. So let's go ahead and bring in this set right here. Bam. Let's go and get it popping. Yesterday we went extensively a little bit talking about college playoffs, quarterfinal games that we just had. But now I got somebody who is real personal too, who's real, how can I say it? Got a dog in the hunt in this thing right here. So we just gonna talk about it for a little hot second. You know what I'm saying? As you can see, in that quarterfinal games, we had starting with the Fiesta Bowl, we had Boise State going up against Penn State. Like I said, and I think a lot of people predicted it, was that Penn State was going to show Boise State or make Boise State say, hey, you remember last time we had the show, we was like, man, we can't even think of boy's quarterback name, Boise State. quarterback name, but it was Madsen. But Penn State was going to be like, okay, Madsen, you're going to have to show us that you can win this game. You're going to have to show us that you're a quarterback because Ashton Jenton, we're not about to let you run through this thing on us. And in perfect fashion, Penn State did their thing. What you got?
Yeah, I mean, piggybacking off what we referenced in the last show we did together, things pretty much went the way we thought they would. Particularly in that Penn State Boise game, I felt like Penn State just had more 4- and 5-star dogs out there, just more talent basically. Mm-hmm. And Boise State just wouldn't be able to match that because you knew they were going to try to shut down Ginty. And hats off to Ginty, man. Like everybody in this world knew he was getting the ball, and he still had 30 carries and over 100 yards. You know, so that just goes to show you the talent that he is. But it was just the talent that Penn State had was just too much, and they overwhelmed them. So you know, hats off to James Franklin, the coach over there at Penn State. You know, he got a face off against, you know, Notre Dame next, which I know you're ready to talk about now. But it pretty much went the way we thought it would.
Then something that I referenced to yesterday, because being a running back, I look at certain things like yards per carry. So, and I said yesterday, I said off the rip, the moment first play of the game, he touched the ball, and all 35 members of Penn State defense went at him, all of them, and was like, hold on, let us show you something. And they set the tone on that first play. It seemed like the whole sideline was coming after him when he first got that touch. And they was like, nah, we already know what this about. And you're gonna have to prove to us. And even though, like you said, he did have those 104 yards rushing, but the thing about him was it was in 30 attempts compared to and we're gonna get to that. His average per yard was 3.5 yards per rush, which he normally averages 11.9 yards per rush, something in that range, compared to Penn State, who had their running backs, Allen and Singleton. Singleton had 12 for 87 with 7.3 yards per carry, and Allen had 17 for 134, 17 attempts for 134 with 7.9. So what I said yesterday, I was like, man, not only did they say, Jenton, we're not going to let you run, even though you had a phenomenal year. Can't nobody take away what you did. You had a phenomenal year. At Penn State, we said it. They was like, no. Not only are we going to show you that you're not going to run on us, but we're going to show you how to run and what you can do with big boy ball. And they did it, man. And even their quarterback had 3 touchdowns. Boise State quarterback had 3 interceptions. So the proof of you're going to have to win this game. We're not going to let one man in Jenton take us and win this game. And they did it, man. So, you know, just doubling back on that. But like you said, Jenton, you did have a great year. That don't take nothing away from what you did. But it just shows you the mentality of different programs of, like you said, the 4 and 5 stars versus the maybe 3 and 4 stars. You know the difference. And just the bigger program. So
yeah. Yep.
Then we double over to I know we gonna end up in the right place for you today.
We know we're gonna end up, yeah.
We going back to that Peach Bowl with that Texas and Arizona State game, which to me I think that was the most competitive game that we've seen in this quarterfinal, because Arizona State gave Texas all they could handle with Cam Scatterboo, and he had told the reporters before the game, he had said, "Can't nobody stop me," and everybody laughed at it and was like, "Okay." But then all of a sudden he went out there and he showed it. Like him alone, the 31 points they got had something to do with either him touching the ball or their field goal kicker. Because he had 2 touchdowns and then he had a passing touchdown and gave that Texas defense, which was supposed to have been real grandiloso, all they could handle, man. And he balled out, man, with 30 carries for 143 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, and he had a 42-yard pass for a touchdown. So he definitely was the saving grace for Arizona State, and it just came down to that double overtime, and Texas just they outmanned them and just okay. This is why we in the heart of Texas, you know. But you know, I say that there's no such thing as moral victories, but just on some real stuff, he made some money yesterday. He made some money on New Year's because his stock when it rose up high.
Agreed. And I mean, for me, up until the Ohio State game, this was the best game of the quarterfinals. Obviously, it was the most competitive game, you know, in the sense of how close it was in the score. You know, and so you mentioned Cam Scatterboo, you know, he did his thing. But definitely, if it wasn't the best game, in my opinion, it definitely had the most controversial call. And we all saw it, the targeting call or lack thereof that was not called. That pretty much was the ball game because I feel like if they get that right there, the momentum that they had, they go down and score, and there's no need for overtime.
Right.
And so I really feel like the referee took it out of their hand. And I'm not a guy that likes to put the outcome of a game on one play because, you know, there's a lot of things leading up to that. They could have played better. They could have been ahead by more. However, that call right there, it was a textbook targeting call.
Mm-hmm.
The guy lunged at him head first. He was a defenseless offensive player, and he hit him in the head. He contacted in his head with his helmet. Right. I mean, if you draw up, if there's a poster child play for targeting, that was the play, and yet it was not called. And like I've read things already that Arizona State is already petitioned the loss, but I don't know what can come of that. I mean, they're not going to be able to replay the game by the time it goes to the office. The next game against Texas and O State is going to be played. So,
right,
you know. But again, yeah, good play. Texas played real sloppy. Got a lot of penalties called, and you know, we'll see how they do against Ohio State next week.
In that fourth quarter, Arizona State had 16 points. Like they came. It was almost a hopeless situation for them, and they stormed back. That dude, and the funny thing, what I said was that normally in the fourth quarter, he's not in the game in the fourth quarter for a lot of their games. So he was actually having to play, and you've seen it because he got the oxygen mask on. He breathing hard, but when he put it down, he get up in there. He left it on the field, man. And you know, I said. In that game against Iowa State, when they played in the Big 12 championship, he bust that Heisman pole, and I'm like, bruh, come on, man. That's Travis's all day long, and you ain't did what Ashton Jensen did. But after that performance that he did, it made me think, well, man, maybe he should have been in that room just for the conversation, because Travis was going to get that anyway. But just for the conversation of between having Travis, Shador, Cam Ward, him, and Ashton Jensen, and maybe just put Dylan Gabriel to the side, I wouldn't have been mad with that. But like I said, I felt like, man, he definitely made some money, and I was so focused on the fact of how I seen his play, I totally missed that. Not missed it when we watched it, but missed it yesterday talking about it. So I'm glad you brought it up, that targeting play, because I was just so amazed, man. All this big stuff that Texas was doing, and this defense they supposed to have, Cam Scatterboo gave them every bit of he had. Like when you say leave it on the field, hey man, he left it on the field. So yeah, but that targeting play was something big that I just totally forgot about because I was so much emphasized on, man, Texas, y'all barely got up out of there, you know. So that's a good point right there too, man.
Yeah, who's a good NFL comp for you for Cam Scatterboo? Like, I feel like he could be like a Mike Allstott, but
Mm,
more athletic. Like I think he brings more to the table. He's more skilled than Mike Allstott.
mm-hmm.
You know, who was fun to watch. Uh,
Yeah.
who do you think he's comparable to in the NFL?
That's. I mean, it's. Oh, I could say like a Mike Allstott, like what you said, a watered down version of Alvin Kamara, because of the fact that you can't just hit him one time and think that he going down.
Right.
He gonna keep going.
He got that balance.
Yeah. So
that's good.
Like
he might be like a hybrid of Mike Allstott, Alvin Kamara.
Right. So yeah, that's a good. Yeah, that's what I think. So I like I said, I think he definitely made some money for himself because
I agree.
He showed his worth, man, and left it on the field. So before we get to y'all, let's go to this this game in New Orleans at the Sugar Bowl between UGA and Notre Dame, which I had kind of said that UGA's saving grace could have been their defense. However, Notre Dame came in there and was like, we not the same Notre Dame team, because you know they was always getting that repetition of they play good in the season. Every time they get to a bowl game, a big bowl game, they always fold. And they did totally the opposite, man. And I give big props to their head coach, man, because Kirby Smart has been named, you know, the quote unquote the next predecessor behind Nick Saban as the best coach. But I feel like Marcus Freeman, man, he had a game plan for them boys. And when you see the post game interview that he did with the whole team in the locker room, like he had them boys ready to play. So one thing I seen was Notre Dame physically in the trenches just outmanned them. And even in that fourth quarter with the last 5 minutes left, we ain't throwing the ball. We running it down your throat, straight down your throat. What you gonna do? Stop us.
Yeah, and I think we always talk about momentum and things like that in sports, but there's also a thing called giving a team hope. And I just feel like before the game started, once Notre Dame realized, okay, Carson Beck won't be playing in the game, this is our chance. We got to step it up, and like we can't give them any hope. We can't give them a chance to think that it's going to be close. And I think for a minute there, the first quarter, first half, you know, it was pretty close. But then Notre Dame kind of turned it on. Riley Leonard, he's a dual threat quarterback. A lot of people don't notice about him or really give him props for it, but he is a dual threat quarterback, and he was getting a lot of those tough yards in third and short situations, even some of those fourth down. You know? And he's a good enough passer to where you got to respect both of them.
Right.
So I think between Riley Leonard making the difference, the quarterback from Notre Dame, and I'm gonna give props to Coach Freeman as well, having them boys ready, because some of those calls were on him. But the whole hope thing, like, okay, we got a shot. Their quarterback is out. We can't play around with this. We got to win this game. And I think that extra momentum made them hit a little harder, run a little faster on that field in the Sugar Bowl.
Even with what you just said, the stats prove that, because Leonard rushed for 14 times for 80 yards as a quarterback, and he threw for 90 yards and had one touchdown. Even in that fourth quarter when he jumped over to get that first down, stuff like that, man. That's that gumption, man. That's that heart of nah, man. I got to get this. So definitely a great point with Riley Leonard, you know. And I mean, like I said, they just out physical Georgia. And the funny thing is, like a lot of one of the big things that the SEC used to get credit for, we spoke about, was the fact that the SEC always had great trench play. Defensive lines was always big and strong. Offensive line was always big and strong. And then behind those starters was other backups that could come in and they would rotate and they were just big and strong also. But because of this NIL, them backups like, man, I can go somewhere and be a starter and get paid for it. So that's took a great shift in the power of conferences, man. So Notre Dame, Coach Marcus Freeman, Riley Leonard, and then their best running back, Love, got hurt for Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So, you know, they just outpower Georgia, man. And you know, and sometimes I think, you know, it's Kirby Smart is a smart guy. You know what I'm saying? Great coach. They'll be back next year. They're gonna re-up. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes my problems be sometimes the Georgia fans because they think that they boo-boo don't stink. You know, so they think they untouchable.
Right.
You know, sometimes they did the same thing last year when they didn't get in the playoffs. But you had to beat Alabama. You didn't beat Alabama, so now you mad because you ain't in the playoffs. So, you know, this some humbling moments. We all go through it as fans, you know. But now with this day in the NIL, it's shifted, man. So definitely. So, all right, come on. Go on, put your shirt on. I got the legend. I got the legend today. You know, so I got the legend shirt. So go on ahead and put your shirt up, man.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
you already know what it is.
The blowout, the blowout factor of the CFB in the quarterfinals was that rematch between your Buckeyes, and I ain't even gonna disrespect them today. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say the Buckeyes. You know what I'm saying? And the Ducks on that rematch from that 32-31 game that they had up in Oregon. And when I say your Buckeyes put on a show, the game was over at halftime. It was literally over at halftime. And I went on a whole run yesterday about how Dan Lennon was just on the sideline, just kind of looking boo-boo faced. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, I still got them. I still got that ill feel of how he did my beloved Buffaloes. You know, last year when all of a sudden he let everybody come into the locker room. Like, okay, he never did it before, but now all of a sudden because Colorado was getting all that attention, and he like, nah, we supposed to be getting attention. They playing for clicks and likes. We playing for the love and for substance. And then at halftime, his speech at halftime, live national TV to the reporters was, I hope everybody watching, seeing what's happening, because we ain't done yet. See your team you've been rooting for. So I'm like, man, Coach Brown don't mess with nobody, man. You know what I'm saying? So for you to come after him like that, okay, if you win the game, you win the game. You know what I'm saying? But you coming out on some old hatred stuff because they get more attention, and rightfully so. He a Hall of Famer, man, and they had won. You know, they went on a run. They was 3-0 at the time. So what you expect? Mm-hmm. So for y'all to do what y'all did, because I told everybody yesterday, I was like, I had to give my boy his props because when they went to Oregon and they lost, I gave them the business. So y'all had one job to do. Y'all had one job. Y'all couldn't even do that. Y'all supposed to represent it for the Big Ten and let them know what type of ball this is. And I'm gonna say it like this. I'm gonna let you have the flow. What y'all did yesterday was, you gonna like this one. Y'all reminded them, y'all, even though y'all ran through and this stuff, when it's time, we showed y'all you can't come up in our house in the Big Ten and think that y'all just gonna do what you want to do. We are the Ohio Buckeyes, and you ain't gonna beat us again. You understand?
Yeah. That's pretty much what it was. And we knew after that first game when they won in Oregon that we didn't play our best game. The play calling wasn't consistent as it needed to be. The physicality wasn't there. there's a lot of things that you need to have to win a football game that we didn't display that day. But in that Rose Bowl, we did it. Like there were some hits there that our defense made where about 3 or 4 times I was like, ooh, that man, he's not gonna get back up. Like our defense was they were laying the wood out there. And eventually that running back did he walked off and he didn't come back. That last name James, we put him out, you know. So the physicality was there as far as the physical tackling. We won in the trenches because we had 8 sacks. The first game we had 0 sacks. Last game they had a running back over 100 yards. This game they had negative 35 yards rushing. In terms of the play calling, you know, we got real aggressive. Just like we were saying in the Michigan game, it's like our strength is are the receivers. Why are we not going to our receivers? And so in that game in the Rose Bowl against Oregon, came out on all cylinders firing, and we showed our dominance in that area.
Third play.
Yeah, they just couldn't keep up, man. And I mean that Jeremiah Smith, he's basically a generational talent. He's being compared to some of the big names, but I feel like when it's all said and done, he's gonna be his own guy. But when you put 6'3", 220 pounds that can run probably like a 4.4 with the football IQ and the speed and the hands that he has, it's not gonna be too many people in college that can do anything with him. He's a grown man right now at 19. They're saying if he came out in the draft this year, he might be the number 1 pick. I mean, so for anybody to be able to say that and put his name in the same breath as first as the number 1 pick at 19, that tells you all you need to know. And I could go on and on about how well it went, but pretty much the physicality was there. We won in the trenches on both sides of the ball. The play calling was there, and we finally played the way we knew we were capable of playing. Those 2 defensive ends, JT Tuamalu and Jack Sawyer, they are controlling these games in these college playoffs. They're creating the pressure and disruption. Like Jack Sawyer, he and JT both had 2 sacks, but Sawyer knocked down a couple passes too. Like, and Dylan Gay was only about 6 feet, so they just swarmed him and confused him and just made it difficult for him to like do anything that he's normally accustomed to doing. So now they're calling us the favorite to win it all. We always believed that was the case, so we don't feel any pressure there. But a lot of people were calling for Ryan Day's job and just saying that we weren't that team, like we were fakes. We paid the most money for a trash team, you know, that was underachieving. You know, I've heard it all from so many different sources. And so it just felt good to wake up the next day after the Rose Bowl and be able to just kind of shake our head, nod our head, just basically saying, yeah, we gave it to the number 1 team that was the only undefeated team, gave them a loss. And it wasn't just a loss. Like the game went how we expected it to go, but I don't think anybody expected it to be over at halftime, which it basically was, just quoting what you said. So, I mean, we moving up. We're looking ahead to Texas now. We know we got 2 more to go.
It not only was it wasn't a loss, it was a humbling. What they say, a humbling. It was a man. Come on, man. You ain't had to beat him like that, man. Like, bruh, you beat him to sleep, man. It was like that. It was a beat him to sleep. You know what I'm saying? and then kick him a couple more times. You know. Right.
Make sure.
Like I say, when you got in trouble with your mama and she don't let you slide, and then she remember all them other times that you showed out, and I told you thought I was playing with you, but I ain't playing this time. You gonna take this whooping.
Yeah, man. Like
and even just numbers wise, Will Howard had 319 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. Jeremiah Smith, like you said, that's a grown man at 19, bro. He even said to the media before the game They can't cover me.
Mm-hmm.
So I told everybody yesterday, when you say that, you got to show up. And 7 receptions for 187 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, he showed up, and even your boy, what's his name, Ibuka? He had 5 receptions for 72 yards.
Yep.
And then y'all running backs, Henderson, 94 yards, 8 carries, averaging 11.6 yards per carry. Judkins, 17 for 85, averaging 5. That's dominance. That's straight dominance in the trenches and straight manhandled. Oregon. And have you seen that commercial where the guy come in? We talking about who's ready for my famous scorched duck? The insurance commercial, and he don't realize he walking into an Oregon tailgate.
Right.
And you see the duck, and he be like,
Doug is like, man.
Walk away, start kicking stuff.
Yeah.
That's how Oregon walked. That's how they walked away last night on New Year's. Like, man. Yeah. So, hey, y'all did that, man. So yesterday I had to be like, hey, man, from a Go Blue fan to a Buffalo fan, a love of them, and I had to give y'all the props because y'all, again, I didn't say y'all had a trash team. From day one, I said I felt like y'all gonna win the chip because I said it. Y'all paid $20 million. However, when we did our first show, I also talked about Texas actually paid 23. So had they got beat by Arizona State, that would have been really bad, for them, because even though Texas didn't have Isaiah Bond, but they didn't play nowhere near what their roster says. Now, against y'all in this Cotton Bowl coming up, not only are you looking at the 2 expensive rosters in college football, but y'all are actually showing the worth. So, what is your expectations for that Cotton Bowl?
Well, first of all, it's going to feel like an away game because we're going to be in Texas. But I know the Ohio State fans, they're going to roll. So it's going to be a well thought out game. I believe, if just looking at it from a pure just football fan perspective, first of all, Texas is going to have to clean up their mistakes. I mentioned it earlier. They're very they make a lot of mistakes in terms of getting penalties called, drop passes. They're like a big play team. Like if they're close, they're capable of making a big play, getting a long run or a long catch. But you're gonna have to play a complete game to beat Ohio State the way Ohio State is playing right now. As far as Ohio State, I feel like they just got to keep doing what they're doing. Be aggressive, know what their strengths are, allow these veteran players, to do what they're capable of doing. A lot of our players, especially on defense, have played 35, 40 games in their career. We got a lot of 4- and 5-year players, which is like having a veteran team in the NFL, So I think you got to let them boys cook, trust what they're capable of doing. And I feel like in the end, we should come out on top in this game as well. If I had to predict the score, I don't think it'll be a blowout like Oregon was, because I think Texas has more talent. I think you can see a score like maybe like a 34-24, something like that. Ohio State.
I hope y'all keep the same momentum and don't let last game, because sometimes you play such a good game and be so high that now when you go into the next game, all of that energy that you had still is in that game. So I hope y'all take that focus back, because I said this. I said that if Texas had a hard time against Arizona State with one Cam Scatterboo, they getting ready to get their work with a Henderson and a Judkins. And then you got a Jeremiah Smith and how you say his last name? Ibuka?
Emeka Ibuka.
Yeah, the G is silent. Okay, Ibuka. Yeah. You got your hands full right there, because that's a loaded offense. Then their defense, you know what I'm saying? They got a problem. They got a problem on their hands.
Mhm.
So I picked y'all to dominate that game. So, and then with the Notre Dame Penn State game, I'm like flip of the coin on that one. Like, to me, whoever show up, because I think both of them can really play against each other. Like, I think they're kind of almost even in the sense of, I think Penn State may have a little edge because they're going to have their two running backs and their defense with Abdul Carter. But I mean, I like both coaches. I like Franklin and Freeman. So I'm kind of just like, okay, on that one, let's just see a good game, because I can't really say who gonna win on that one yet. I really can't.
Yeah, I agree for the most part. I think Penn State also has the edge. One thing we didn't mention, Notre Dame is really banged up. I think their best defensive player, D lineman, he's out, I think, for the rest of the playoffs. But their safety, I think his name Watts, Xavier Watts, he's a little banged up. I think he's going to play in the next game. But I just feel like all the injuries are going to eventually catch up to Notre Dame. And Penn State has two running backs. They got the all-world tight end. They have a good quarterback, Drew Aller. Drew Aller is a top-notch quarterback. So I feel like Penn State has the edge, but I do feel like Notre Dame is the better coach team. James Franklin at Penn State hasn't really been known to win the big game. So, there's a chance that his team might not be as thoroughly prepared as Notre Dame. But I feel like if I had to call it, I would give it to Penn State. And I'll say like 21-17, something like that. Penn State.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, James Franklin has. They've always kind of been that. Well, somebody got to get second place. Might as well be us.
Right.
So, and yeah, now what we didn't mention, and what I did mention earlier before, was that tight end, that number 44. That's a grown man walking right there. Like, I mean, that's a groaner man. Like, he's Mr. All World on that Penn State team. So yeah, that's major for them that he get involved. So what's it looking like on that Kentucky?
Oh, remember, I ended up turning to the
to the
game. But I think at the half, Kentucky was winning by 4, if I'm not mistaken. It's like 40. It was like 40-36, something like that.
Yeah. Okay. The Kentucky era without John Calipari. Yes.
All right.
So yeah, man. So that's the that's what I got for the college football wrap up, man. Yeah, y'all did y'all thing. You got y'all in the Cotton Bowl, the Orange Bowl. All roads lead to the ATL, to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So definitely want to see what's going to perspire from all of that coming up. Let's pop into something next. We got a little hey man, I need to know what you think about this right here. Because this is going to directly, I ain't gonna blow your high or nothing, you know what I'm saying? But I just want to know what you feel about this right here. Oh, it ain't popped up. Oh, hold on. It didn't pop up. Okay.
Yeah, I can't really read the whole thing.
Hold on, I got you.
Kentucky up by 1 right now, 70-69.
Okay.
12 minutes to go.
That's that juggernaut from Beaufort, Georgia, by way of Alabama, Justice Hayes, the number 1 running back in the portal, going to my beloved Go Blue Wolverines.
Y'all trying to put together a nice little offense. I know that.
Yeah,
After the way y'all offense played this year, they like we're gonna fix the offense.
right. That dude. I kind of missed this one because it was funny because I was just saying to somebody, man, where Justice Hayes gonna go? Like, man, and what I had originally said was, man, I wish Coach Prime could get him, just because, I feel like at Michigan, we gonna have us a running game, you know what I'm saying? And with Jordan Marshall, I feel like we gonna be able to run the ball. But I was feeling like at the same time, like, man. So I was like, man, Coach Prime need to get somebody like a Justice Hayes. And for him to come to us, I'm like, what? So I don't know how you been with his with his play, but he definitely is a problem at running back. And he fit right into our program as far as, we want to run the ball. So he fits right into how we play. And he got that get out. He got that speed.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely am excited about him being with us. But
yeah, I'm looking at him right here, man. I didn't follow Alabama too much this year. So was he their starter or was he like their running back by committee, like the second guy?
So they had a running back by committee. They had him and Miller, and both of them are kind of like even. But he I guess he wanted to be a starter or something. I don't know, but I mean, so of course you know what I do. I go play with him on the game and see, like I'm gonna translate. Let me see what they rated him on the game. So I got him. I played with him on college football 25, and I'm like, yo, he nice. He got that takeoff, that shifty, the speed. So, and you add him with what we already got with Jordan Marshall, who ran like crazy on Alabama in absence of Dylan Edwards them and Caleb Mullins.
Mm-hmm.
We got us a running back room now. I mean, we got us a bona fide running back room happening. So you take him and Bryce Underwood, who that's gonna our running back room should help Bryce Underwood adjust, to the college game. And then I guess when you got say Bryce Underwood, that's where I think these tune-up games is gonna work good for us because he get a chance to get his feet wet, and we'll see. What I'm concerned about is making sure we get some wide receivers that he can throw to. You see that right there, man? Like excuse me. That's against Missouri. Like, excuse me.
Right. Get out my way.
Right. And
look that big. Look like he about maybe like 5'9", 5'10".
Yeah, 5'10". Yeah. 185 pounds.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you what I also love is that you see that back here, right? You see that right there, that double deuce, that's my go-to. That's my number. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, that's that double deuce. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, go on here, shine like a diamond, man. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Shine bright. That's that 22, man. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Double deuce back there. So wear it proud, young man.
Yeah.
So that's my go blue moment for the day, man. Me and you had talked about that. You know what I'm saying? We talked about the Bryce Underwood, but I know you in the zone for what y'all got going on. But I just wanted to get your little quick perspective on that right there.
Yeah, it's gonna be a competition next year. I mean, because we're pretty much in the same boat. Like we're gonna be starting new quarterbacks.
Oh, okay. Ain't y'all losing like some? Y'all gonna lose about?
We losing a lot.
Yeah,
Like,
y'all doing like what we had.
most of the defense gone. I think we'll have one of our corners coming back. And I think our D line might still be pretty good. We losing our 2 defensive ends, but we got 2 guys coming in. It should take over for them and do a good job. And then on offense, I mean, we got Jeremiah Smith, but Egbuka gone, Will Howard's gone, both our running backs are gone. So I mean, it's gonna be a rebuild. We basically reloaded for the talent that we brought in. We basically are reloading. So, but we're gonna have 4 and 5 star talent. So it's just a matter of how well they play and gel together. We'll see what happens.
Because you know your team better than most, because that's your team. What happened to that quarterback that y'all had out from Georgia?
He transferred. Yeah, Aaron Nolan. So he transferred to South Carolina. So basically,
he did that this year.
Yeah. So we recruited a 5-star guy that's coming in, and then we got that Julian Cyan that we got from Alabama when Saban left last year or this season. So they were talking about those 2 guys are going to be the main 2 quarterbacks. Aaron Nolan felt like he was going to get a shot, so he transferred to South Carolina already.
So wait a minute, was he on the bench this year and transferred, or did he already transfer?
He pretty much stayed with the team the whole year. He just transferred.
Okay. I thought that's what I was like, man. Wait, okay. So now, so I do remember seeing that South Carolina did get, but I kind of forgot his name, but I just remembered him from Georgia and from him being a big 5-star prospect. But okay,
yeah.
So I felt like y'all kind of in the same situation with us, but because y'all don't have nobody leaving, y'all still in the game, because we had to wait on Jim Harbaugh to make a decision on what he was going to do, which is why we didn't have no quarterback play, because by the time he said, I'm leaving, transfer portal was closed. We couldn't do nothing. So we had to deal with what we had to deal with. Alex Orji out there fumbling everything, playing quarterback. When I mean fumble, man, you just ain't playing good quarterback ball, can't throw the ball. So we lost 14 to the draft. So quarterback play would have been very important, which is the reason why I think Donovan Edwards got frustrated this year, because everybody know you getting the ball. We're not passing the ball between Tuttle and Warren. So
right,
we're gonna load the box up.
Donovan Edwards came back like he thinking like, I came back to this. Like I mean, he's not gonna come out and say it, but it showed in the way he played and things like that. Like,
yeah,
he's like, man, I ain't trying to get hurt.
Yeah. So while we in the college vein, something that I dropped yesterday that I was impressed with, and I wanted to know, had you paid attention to this, because I almost missed it, but I didn't. But did you see that happen?
Yeah, I didn't watch the game, but I remember when I was looking at, when it's about to be bowl season, I always look at the bowls and see which ones I might be interested in. And I saw the name of that one, and I showed my wife. I said, Snoop Dogg got a bowl named after him now. The Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl, the gin and juice. I'm like,
yeah, presented by Gin and Juice, and him and Drake got it. That's their alcoholic beverage that they, what I'm saying, that they have, called Gin and Juice. Mm-hmm. But he had, I said, Snoop. All right, us coming from that era of the 90s, number one, and then to see somebody who we seen Snoop when he first came out through Deep Cover, you know what I'm saying, when he was young with Dr. Dre, but he partnered with them to be the representative and to be the sponsor for the Arizona Bowl. They had Miami of Ohio playing Colorado State, which, of course, because of CU, I ain't got no love for Colorado State, However, they got the brakes beat off of them bad. I mean, it was big time 41-13 type stuff. Like
Colorado State beat Miami like that?
No, Miami of Ohio beat them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That was the same day Colorado played in the Alamo Bowl, but they they played that day also and got drugged big time. 43-17.
Okay, shout out to the MAC. You know, I went to college in the MAC, so shout out to Miami of Ohio doing their thing from the MAC conference.
Roethlisberger alumni.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, man. Then like when I seen that, because Snoop said he said college fans are exhausted by the talk around NIL conferences, by NIL conference alignment, coach movement, transfer portal, super conference. He's like, so it's time we get back to the roots of college football. He's like, when it's focused on colleges, the players, the competition, the community, the fan experience, and the pageantry, that's when college football is so much better. So he said, being a fan of college, being a coach myself, a supporter on all levels of the game, it's only fitting that I step up and step in and help bring the juice, pun intended, back to college football. And they signed a multi-year deal, man. So they got that bowl game is going to be there because they took it from Barstools. So that's a multi-year deal that signed that he going to be representative for that, man. And you know that's generating some extra income at the same time.
Yeah.
So, but I just feel like that's big for the culture. You know, our culture, you know, hip hop, where we come from, our generation, man. Because that's something you wouldn't have seen back in the day.
Right.
You wouldn't have seen Big Daddy Kane Citrus Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
So to see, you know, and no pun on Big Daddy Kane, because hey, he get the job done. He worked, baby. You know what I'm saying? So but to see that right there with Snoop, man, I was like, man, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's do that thing, boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So all right, so let's wrap up with something that's personal to you today. And I'm gonna say it with two questions for you. This juggernaut that I call them of a backfield with this guy right here. 4:30 today. Y'all got to travel to Baltimore and face this dude. How you feeling about this game today?
I mean, it's probably not going to go well for us in terms of Baltimore. If they win the game, they'll get first place in our conference, in our division rather. Our team, we're starting a third string quarterback. Even though they probably like to be basically like somebody who can keep Baltimore from having a higher seed, it's not going to happen. I just feel like it's going to be our defense. Like a lot of our guys are probably just writing this season off. They're done for the day. A lot of guys get taken out the game early for like some type of injury, you know, small injury. This is not going to go well. I would like to talk more about who's the MVP of the league, and I think you really have like 3 or 4 really good guys. But between those two, I mean, how could you not give it to Lamar Jackson? Like, I mean, Josh is having a great year. Don't get me wrong. Their numbers are very comparable. But what Lamar is doing, he's got better numbers, and he's got a potentially a first place team as well. He's got more passing yards, more rushing yards, more total TDs. So it's like, and he's on a good team too. So,
and he's doing better numbers than he did last year when he won the MVP.
Exactly.
So I did a look at the last 5 MVPs. You had him, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers won it in 20 and 21, and then Lamar won it in 2019. So if you gave to Aaron Rodgers in 20 and 21 with what he was doing, how can you not give it to Lamar this year? And he's exceeding what he did last year. Patrick Mahomes ain't even he's not even the MVP running this year.
No, he's not. It's between these two guys, and they keep mentioning Saquon.
Right.
But for me, The other guy you should be mentioning as well is Joe Burrow. But the way they do the MVP nowadays, you have to be putting up numbers on a good team. And so whereas Joe Burrow, the Bengals are on the cusp on making the playoffs, but his numbers, he's got more passing yards, more touchdowns on a team that has no defense. So when you look at it in terms of who's most valuable to their team, I feel like, Joe Burrow is the most valuable to his team. But when you compare those, I think Lamar and Josh are the top two. I think you got to go with Josh. I'm sorry, you got to go with Lamar.
Yeah, I definitely agree, man, because he's playing a way better. Like, what I love about Lamar is that he has evolved. Like, coming from people saying, you should play running back, and him being the last pick in the first round, and just he's dominant, man. Like, how can you stop him now when they got Derrick Henry back there with him? That's a backfield that you like, man. If I'm a defensive coordinator, that's a hard sleep at night.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing that he don't have, and they have a good set, is that he don't have that. And it's even hard to even say it because they got Flowers and Bateman, but they don't have that AJ Brown wide receiver,
right?
Or that Amari Cooper. You know what I'm saying? That Tyreek Hill. But they have a great complement with Bateman and Flowers. Oh, and let's not forget about Mark Andrews.
Right.
And then you got Derrick Henry back there, that other 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Michael Vick told everybody from the jump, when he first seen Lamar, he's like, this dude is 2 times better than me.
Yep.
And I felt like Lamar had the perfect canvas to watch with Michael Vick, and just improving everything that Michael Vick doing, working on his passing, getting in the film room, just the ultimate quarterback weapon. I don't know if you remember that. I should have put that up. Do you remember that Sports Illustrated where it had Randall Cunningham back in the day? He was on Sports Illustrated and they called him the ultimate weapon.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Lamar is right now. They Sports Illustrated, if you hit, you need to do that part too, the ultimate weapon too, because I agree with you, man, with that dude, and I'm proud of the fact that, man, especially from us being a black quarterback and dominating the way in a sport that for so long said that black quarterbacks couldn't be leaders in the game and couldn't play quarterback.
Right.
And then he playing it his way, showing I can pass and run. And I'm probably one of the fastest people on the field, by the way, also. And I can throw the ball. How you gonna stop me? So I feel like the only thing that he got is the only thing that's been hurting him is the fact that they haven't been able to beat the Chiefs. And that's what he got to overcome. Because he and then the fact that you remember when he was getting signed, how everybody was on him because he didn't have an agent. They was like, stop listening to your mama, stop listening to, and he ended up signing a great contract anyway.
Yeah.
So he's done it his way, being the quarterback who he is, and still evolving each year. And I love it, man. I love it, man. So
agreed, man. I mean, you hit all the points, man. It's just good to see him becoming a well-rounded guy and like the type of quarterback and the type of numbers he was doing in college. I think I was one of the first people to say, I was like, eventually he's going to be a 4,000-yard passer, 1,000-yard rusher. And he might not get it this year, but I mean, that's what he's doing. He's doing 2 great stats in one season. Because as we know, a 4,000-yard passing season is a great year for a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And a 1,000-yard rushing is like the staple for a rusher.
Right.
So he would be able to do both of those. I mean, he'd have to get probably like about 140, 150 yards rushing today to get 1,000 yards. But the fact that he has 800, that's a good year for most running backs. And he's a quarterback doing it.
Right.
So, I mean, how do you not make him most valuable when he does so much for his team? And now, for him to have 4,000 yards passing, that means he's getting it to multiple receivers. Because you got Zay Flower, who finally has a 1,000-yard receiver. But he's got not one, but two dynamic tight ends. You mentioned Andrews, but he's got Isaiah Likely as well,
Mm-hmm.
and some other playmakers on the outside. So he's able to distribute that ball to them, man. And then you see these plays he's making in these highlights where you think you got him when you really don't. He's got you. He got you right where he wants you. You know, so I feel like it's got to be him. Even though there are some good candidates, you got Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley, and you got Joe Burrow. I feel like it's Lamar Jackson, man, because again, he's putting up MVP type numbers on a first place team.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you got to go with him, man.
I feel like my last point on this is that what you said, Baltimore is their own worst enemy. When they don't play the way they're supposed to play, like that last year when they lost to Kansas City, and you was like, wait a minute, why y'all not running the ball? So they're their own worst enemy as far as the coaching letting them play who they play, because I kind of take back what I said about the wide receiver, because you just I totally dropped it and missed Likely. When you got Andrews, Likely, Bateman, and Flowers, that's 4 weapons. And then you got Derrick Henry and him. And for him to have 800 yards, and you got Derrick Henry who got 1,600 yards himself. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they in your division, and you already kind of said what y'all gonna do. This should be the year they should get on top and win that Super Bowl this year. They should. They have the offense to do it. They have the.
And that's what I was getting ready to say. Offense is there, but they don't have that dominating Ravens defense this year. I think they're like last in passing yards given up. You're not gonna run on them, but they are giving up a lot of pass yards. That might be their only crutch this year, is that they don't have. We're used to Baltimore having dominant defense, or at least a top 10 defense.
Right.
And because they don't have it, that could be their Achilles heel this year. I hope it's I hope it's not, but. Because, like you said, they have trouble beating Kansas City and Pittsburgh in the playoffs. They have trouble with those two. So,
right,
we'll see.
Yeah, man. Okay. Hey, man. Look, let's shift this mode one time, man. It's been a great show, man. With my boy, the best wingman, LT the Guru. So let's shift this mode for a second. And we want to go out with a bang, you know what I'm saying, here on We Win Sports Talk, you know what I'm saying, and just drop some nuggets that's going to inspire you to be great in life, you know what I'm saying, and for me personally, even with doing this show, man, I feel like I said it's only the strong will survive, you know what I'm saying, and whatever things that you're trying to do in life, continue to press forward, you know. We've spoken about when opposition comes, opposition only comes to make you stronger. If it's not meant to kill you, it's only gonna make you stronger, man. So, you know, you definitely. I'm one that I got this shirt on that says Legend today. So, well, what am I trying to do? And it's funny that's the one thing that Shador picked up as his tagline was legendary. It's to do things that will leave a legacy. Do things that'll be legendary, you know. So to do that means you got to put in the work, you got to put in the time, and you got to have the faith to believe. You know what I'm saying? And us here at the We Win Sports Talk Show, I already spoke about it unapologetically. My faith and belief is in God and the Word. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that, you know, though your beginnings may be small, your latter end will greatly increase. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of you just continue to press and don't give up. You got to continue to press in life. And don't stop, because the only thing that can stop you from obtaining your goals is you and the mentality. So I spoke legendary. The words that you speak in life are the words that you're going to have. If you don't like where you at, look somewhere and make sure you hadn't spoken it up. If you feel like, man, I ain't doing nothing in life. Okay, where have you spoken that up somewhere in your life? You know what I'm saying? You want to chime in on that, my brother?
Yeah, man. Hey, I take what you're saying, and you've heard me say this before. And you kind of said it too. Like, where you are right now is a direct reflection of the work you put into it. You know, that's one that I know you remember that I've said before in the past, man. And it's like you got to continue to just get better every day. Like I was telling you at the top of the show, man, it's like I don't ever want to be the same person I was when the new year starts. So I think if we want to become better at what we're doing, life is like a sport. You know, a lot of the terms and stuff we use in sports, we can use in life. You know, particularly like zone defenses. You know, sometimes when you deal zone and man defenses, sometimes when you're dealing with a problem, sometimes you got to play a zone defense, man. Like sometimes maybe when you're dealing with your kids or loved ones, you got to give them their space and let them kind of figure it out. But then sometimes you got to put that full court man on man press on. You know, it's like, hey, you going down the wrong path, sir. I got to get in your face. I got to tell you what you need to hear, man. So it's like that's why I love sports because it's a great microcosm or a small piece of life, man, that you can apply these same strategies and tactics to doing life, man. So I agree with what you said, man, and that's how I would go out with it, man.
Okay. Well heard. So look, y'all. Again, look, we appreciate y'all showing up today, man. Well, number one, appreciate my boy LT the Guru for stepping in with me, being that great wingman assist guy that he is. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, y'all could have been anywhere, but y'all came and showed up with us, man. So again, I want to say thank you. You know what I'm saying? Also, you know, hit that like, subscribe, and comment. You know what I'm saying? Like, subscribe, and comment. Share. Let's run these numbers up, man, so we can get y'all in on this chat also, man. And catch me on all platforms at Smooth T, the number 4, and Real on all social media platforms. Hey, this is it for today's show. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a great rest of your day, weekend, week, New Year's. Happy New Year again. 25, we thrive, baby. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate my boy again for showing up. As always, dog, much love to my brother. You know what I'm saying? And hey, man, thanks for showing up. Y'all have a great day, man. We appreciate y'all. God bless. We see y'all for the next show. Peace.
Woo! We win.
Oh yeah, thank you for saying that. Dang, we can't. I was about to forget my pitch line. Remember, y'all, if it ain't about to, we win sports. We about to win. So if it ain't about to win, don't go in. Yeah, appreciate that, L.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Peace.